Okay, so this is a huge, huge topic. I will not be able to cover every single thing, of course, because it's just such a profound, such a profound um, topic. But I do desire to give you the basics around this, and so that you can also understand this biological concept when you're using your own essential oils. Okay, so the blood-brain barrier. The blood-brain barrier is actually a network of blood vessels and tissue that is made up of closely spaced cells and keeps harmful substances from reaching the brain. So the blood-brain barrier also lets some substances such as water, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and general anesthetics pass into the brain. Okay, now the purpose of the blood-brain barrier is to protect against circulating toxins or pathogens that could cause brain infections or brain injury, while at the same time allowing vital nutrients to reach the brain. Now, with the explanations that I've given to you before about cell specificity and how essential oils can actually transperse through the cell membrane, some essential oils such as peppermint and frankincense mainly, and also some others like copaiba, for example, have the capacity to cross the blood-brain barrier. And what this really allows is that we can really support our nervous system directly, and we can offer support to our brain with all the brain functions, such as, information and electric circuitry that runs through the whole rest of the body to really serve in beneficial ways the whole rest of the body. Okay, so another thing that really comes into play here is the limbic system. And the limbic system will be highly interesting, especially when we're talking about the emotional benefits of essential oils. But I do desire also to offer you some explanations around the limbic system here. So the limbic system is actually the part of the brain involved in our behavioral and emotional responses, especially when it comes to behaviors we need for survival, such as feeding, reproduction, and caring for our young, and also fight or flight responses, which if you work with trauma, if you worked with trauma recovery techniques, this will be highly interesting for you as well. Okay, so I am a huge fan of trauma recovery and holistic approaches to recover trauma, and I have found that essential oils can be such a big part of the journey and really offer in that extra support. Okay, the limbic system functions to facilitate memory storage and memory retrieval. So it also establishes emotional states and links the conscious intellectual functions to the cerebral cortex with the unconscious autonomic functions of the brain stem. Okay, so what does this all mean? It all sounds really, really extravagant. What it basically means is that when an essential oil, so you really have to look at this, when you're actually inhaling an essential oil, you are stimulating the olfactory bulb, which is a part of the limbic system. Okay, this is why when you may open up a bottle of lavender and you're smelling the lavender from the bottle directly, you might have all these memories suddenly rushing into your consciousness. Okay, so when I first smelled lavender off the bottle, what I immediately thought of was these little pillows that my grandmother used to make, that we would put in our cupboards or in our wardrobes. And it just smelled amazing. And I loved that smell. So when I smelled it off the bottle, I immediately remembered that time when I had smelled, these little lavender cushions that my grandmother used to make. And this is actually, it has a completely scientific, like a complete scientific explanation. It's simply that when we are inhaling an essential oils and we're smelling the different aromatic compounds, the stimulation of the olfactory bulb actually will bring in emotions, memories, different things that are yeah, that are connected with that smell. So this is really how powerful an essential oil can be. And you can use this also in order to reprogram your brain, for example, or to reprogram yeah, different memories and different states of being, especially if you're, working with trauma, as I said before. You can actually use essential oils in order to create and facilitate new consciousness programs. Yeah. Another thing that is interesting to bear in mind here is that because these aromatic compounds are so volatile, some of them, especially the ones that you're inhaling, um, and also because some of them will be having the capacity to cross the blood-brain barrier, what really happens is that even just with smelling an essential oil, you can create states of well-being and states of relaxation and ease, and really support your whole nervous system to calibrate itself and to bring homeostasis back. So homeostasis is a very scientific, it's a scientific term that sounds, very, very jargony, but it basically just means balance. Okay, so we can really use the benefits of essential oils not only on a physical level, but also on an emotional, on a mental level, in order to facilitate states of being that will offer the body ways of healing itself, of calibrating itself, and yeah, and this on all of the levels: physical, emotional, and mental. There's, of course, a lot more to this. If you're, if you'd be looking into the different parts of the limbic system, you'd be finding even more. I just really want to keep this short and sweet so that you have some of these basic understandings. And yeah, that will hopefully also enable you to see through why essential oils can be so powerful.